And now Chris Wilson on the green. First time for Varnador, 17.562, 175.62. Lucas Lee better, 17.347, 17347. Chris Wilson will take a time of 18.717, 18.717. Varnador best on his first lap. Lucas Lee better on his second lap, 17.144. And Wilson will finish up with a time of 18.570. So the time of record will be 18.570 for Chris Wilson. It'll be 17.144 for Lucas Lee and 17.562 for Travis Varnador. That's unofficial. Here comes our next group. Thomas Sigler leads the way out of St. Mary's, West Virginia in the car number 19. The Zero Hero, Mark Dixon from Gallipolis, Ohio. And Jason Altiers, rather Matt Altiers in the car number 2A. Two of our three cars have seen the green flag. Sigler is going to be first to get a time. Here he comes on the racetrack now. The time for the 19 car of Thomas Sigler will go down in the books as a 19.409, 19409. Mark Dixon posts the time of 18.128, 18128. Matt Altiers puts up a better time, 17.980, 17980. Sigler finishes up 19.191. Dixon at 17.917. And flashing by with his time, Altiers a time of 17.608. So all three of those drivers faster on the second lap. Sigler 19.191. Dixon 17.917. And Altiers at 17.608. Two cars remaining as we see the car number 21 of Nick Allen. Nick Allen gets a solo run here out of Wheatfield, Indiana, as the 45 car of Nick's troop having some issues. He did not make it out for the hot lap session and will not be qualifying. Hopefully get ready to start scratch on the heat. First lap is in for Nick Allen as he'll get his white flag, and Nick Allen will put up a time of 17.833, 17833. On its way around now to the checkered flag for Nick Allen in car 21A. He'll put up a time 17.88833. His first time 17.893. The second time. So the first lap is the keeper lap for that. That makes Lucas Lee the fast of the session, a time of 17.144. Travis Varnador at 17.562. We're going to roll now with this is qualifying group number 2 with Dale Kelly in car 22 leading the way. The 37 of Devin Wright from Rensselaer, Indiana, and Robin Lashley in the 57L from Buffalo, Ohio. Kelly has the green. Wright has the green. Lashley to get the green, and the white will come out for Dale Kelly. Two-time feature winner in 2019, 18.144, 18.144 for Devin Wright in the car number 37, a time of 18.328, 18328. Lashley will flash by. 19.646. Kelly a time of 17.732. Devin Wright will post at 18.387, a little slower. And the finishing up for Robin Lashley's car 57L, a time of 19.851. So a couple of drivers had faster laps on the first lap. But Dale Kelly with a 17.732 has the top spot in this group, and right now unofficially he's in the third quickest position overall. Next group out on the racetrack, it's Drake Troutman in the 7T. Bill Griffith in the car number 4G out of Ohio, and Kim Eddington in car number 62E. First lap complete now for Troutman. The Cat puts up a 17.130, fast overall. Time for Bill Griffith, 19.185. Eddington, 19.269. Let's see what will happen with Troutman's last lap, a 17.184. Griffith, a time of 19.028. That's the better of the two. And a spin, so that'll wipe out the time for the second lap. That means Kim Eddington, 62E, will unfortunately have to sit on that 19.269. Meanwhile, Bill Griffith in the car 4G, a 19.028. And then a fast time of the group and fast time overall so far, the time of 17.130 for Drake Troutman. Here we go with the car number 311 of Jason Jack out of Riverview, Florida, and also the 25 of Tyler Nicely. White flag for Jason Jack in the car number 311. His first time is going to be a time of 19.094, 19094. Tyler Nicely puts up a 17.681. Jack finishes up 19.072, little better. And so then Nicely finishes up. The word from the officials is the car number 25 did not pass a technical inspection, was still allowed to qualify, but the times will be disallowed. And that means that the top time in the group will be the 17.130 of Drake Troutman. That is fast in the group and fast overall at this time. Lucas Lee fast in the first group at 17.144. And two groups have completed. We still have four groups to remain, four groups of 8 cars. Here we go. We're expecting Mike Petoskey in the 20M. Brian Foy in the car number 7, and Gary Eicher in the car number 14. So 2 Pennsylvania drivers and a Lacombe, Louisiana racer are expected to be out in our next group. As you can see, the infield is starting to fill up a little bit, as we already have 16 cars that have qualified. And once again, fast overall has been the time of 17.130. That's set by Drake Troutman. As here comes Mike Petoskey, followed by Brian Foy, who will be followed by Gary Eicher. Plan comes together. Watching Petoskey making his way on his first lap as he comes down the back straightaway into turn 3. He got the green flag first. He's going to be the first to get the white flag. He's coming off turn 4. The time is in for Mike Petoskey, a time of 17.316. 17.316. For Brian Foy, an 18.277. 18277. Gary Eicher puts up a time of 18.383. 18383. Better still for Petoskey, 17.251. Third quick overall. Brian Foy wraps up a 17.832. Second lap quicker. And the final lap for Gary Eicher puts up a time of 18.737. He'll keep that first lap of 18.383. So will Foy with the time. Now, Foy will take the second lap of 17:8:32 and fast in the group so far. A couple of steady runs for Mike Petoskey. 17:251 becomes the time of record. Here comes L.J. Grimm in the car number 25G. Behind him, the car number 8 of Jimmy Lennox. So 2 cars on the racetrack in this particular group. Grimm across the line, Lennox out of Kentucky. Maysville, Kentucky is home. Here you see the car number 25G of the veteran L.J. Grimm. He'll put up a time of 17:757.17757. The time on the board for Jimmy Lennox, 17:941, 17941. Grimm looking to get a couple of more tenths out of it. He'll flash across to a 17:567. He did it. He knocked 2 tenths down. While the time for Lennox has a little bit better still, 17.864, 17864. We have qualified 5 members of that group, and 4 of the 5 are under the 18-second bracket. So they are tightening it up right there. Fast time so far, Mike Petoskey, 17:251 in the group. That is unofficially 3rd overall. Still top overall is Drake Troutman out of the 2nd group. And we got our next group of cars coming out here. Looks like the car number 96M of Ben McCann is scheduled to be here, but this will be the 97D of Doug Dial. Doug Dial in the car number 97D set to qualify. He is a micro sprint racer who jumped into modifieds late in the 2020 season, finishing 2nd in the micro sprint points here at East Bay Raceway Park, racing out of Auburndale, Florida, in the D&D Performance car. First time in the Winter Nationals competition in this class. White flag comes out for Doug Dial in car number 97. He'll have a time of 19.935, 19935. Try to trim down a little bit of time on that one as he'll come off turn 4 now to the checkered flag and take it with him. A time on the second lap, 19.489, 19489. So Rick Auckland in the car number 12 and Ben McCann in car number 96M, unable to qualify from that group. So no qualification there for those 2 racers, as we've had 3 drivers so far unable to take times as we are halfway through our qualifying efforts. And I think we're going to give McCann an opportunity a bit later. We'll find out what the situation is on that one. Drivers were instructed to be ready to go. So far, nobody's run afoul of the instruction to turn into the infield. If a driver completes his or her qualifying attempt and does not turn into the infield at the proper spot, that driver will lose the faster of the 2 laps. That's quite the penalty when you can consider that just relegates them down a little bit lower on their pecking order. So 6 of the 8 qualifying for group number 3 here tonight. There you see the cars making their way from groups 1, 2, and 3 into the pit area over in turn 1. Good opportunity for the fans here to get ready to see the next 3 groups coming out here. We invite you to come back and join us for the rest of the week. Tonight, very important as these drivers in the modifieds begin to accumulate points, and the top 6 point getters after Friday night's main event will find themselves locked into the Saturday feature. They will be in the top 6 positions to be determined. And it looks like we may need some help. No, we're going to keep the 7 car in the infield in the event he does have his time hold up. A time of 17.130 right now is the mark they're shooting for. Lucas Lee from the Group 1 with a fast time of 17.144. And Mike Petoskey fast time in Group 3, a time of 17.251. So we will be set to go with 24 more cars looking to knock off the 7T. He's kind of just watching it, seeing if it's going to happen out there. Good run. Okay. The car number 96M of Ben McCann out of Tollsboro, Kentucky was supposed to be in group number 3. Group number 3 has completed its qualifying run. So because the fact that he is presented now, he gets 1 lap. So we're only going to see the 96M Ben McCann get 1 shot at this. See if he can knock off Mike Petoskey's 17.251. So the green flag has been given to McCann in the car number 96M. He drops down in the middle of the racetrack after running high through there. And he's going to show up with a time of 18.767, 18.767. Solo lap on that one. And that moves him into the 7th position. Actually, 6th position, as the 8th position will be open for the non-qualifying car number 12 of Rick Auckland. So Petoskey keeps the honor. He had fast time by a little over 0.3 of a second. We've had some other drivers in the groups get very close to those top times. Travis Varnador 17.562. LJ Grimm 17.567. Next group's on the racetrack. Here comes Bodie Young in the car number 27. Brandon Kinzer in car 18 and Braden Berry in 75B. Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio on the racetrack. White flag for Brad DeYoung. 18.664, 18664. Brandon Kinzer puts up a time of 17.969. Braden Berry faster still, 17.533. DeYoung with a time of 18.592, 18592. For Kinzer, a 17.969, backed up with an 18.047. And Braden Berry backs up his 17.533 with a slower time of 18.157. Lost about 0.6 off of that. Todd Nieheiser's car 72 out on the racetrack. Tyler Teagarden right behind him in the car number 4T. Then you've got Saturday night's feature winner from 2020 from Cameron, Wisconsin, Buzzy Adams. Problem is now Nieheiser's 72 begins to show smoke. He'll finish his qualifying run with an 18.091 on the first lap, 18.091. Time coming out for Teagarden, a little loose off turn 4. He's going to put up a time of 19.442. Buzzy Adams to the top of the heap, a 17.415. Nieheiser an 18.086, better time. Here comes Teagarden. 19.528, 19.528 for Teagarden. Kevin Adams a time of 17.765, but his time of 17.415 holds on to the top spot for right now, as just a couple of cars remain in this group. We're expecting the X27 of John Bradley and the car 33 of Jeff Matthews. Adams leads the way at 17.415. Berry at 17.533. This is John Bradley in the X27, racing out of Plant City, Florida. And Riverview's Jeff Matthews in car 33. Bradley wheels it off, high side of turn 3, down to get things done. He'll post up a time of 19.305, 19.305. Matthews crosses the line. He's third quick in the group, 17.818, 17.818. And apparently going to sit on that time. Bradley finishes up his run with a time of 19.293. So he was just slightly faster. Went from a 19.305 to a 19.293. Jeff Matthews will sit on the 17.818 that he posted in his only lap, and that put him third fast in the group. Still have 16 cars yet to qualify. So we're going to allow the crews to take a look at what is ailing the car number 33. Meanwhile, we saw the car 72, North Florida racer Todd Nieheiser, as he will now be extracted from the group in the infield, give him a chance to get into the pit area and see if they can make the necessary repairs to have that car ready for the heat races. 8-lap heat races tonight for the modifieds. If the 2B mains will be 12 laps. And we do have a 30-lap main event for tonight. So 2 cars that injured during the running of group number 4 will now find themselves pushed off into the pit area. And we'll get group number 5 ready to go. Saw some fast times come out from group number 5 when they hit the track during their hot lap session. Now getting a chance to qualify. Time to beat a time of 17.130. That has been posted by Drake Trout, driver of the car number 7T. Signal's now been given for Group 5 to get underway. Here comes the 3-time and defending track champion, Brian Bernhardt, driver of the B69. Behind him, it's the car number 7D out of Wheatfield, Indiana, Brad DeYoung, and Maverick Varnador's car 4. Third car about to get the green flag as Bernhardt in the B69 rolls by. He'll be first to get a time in this group. Here it comes. Bernhardt's time is 17.819, 17.819. The lap in for Brad DeYoung. DeYoung is 17.925, 179.25. Maverick Varnador will post a 18079, 18079. Bernhardt's faster, second lap 17.580. Brad DeYoung a little slower, 17.958. And Maverick Varnador has an 18.131, 138. Here comes the car number 14 of Tyler Clem, the 313 of Devin Dixon, and Scott Bain in the 23B. Tyler Clem, fast time in the group so far, looks like 17.798. Devin Dixon, a time of 17.836. And looks like Clem's going to finish up before Clem, a time of 18.151, as Bain's going to have a time of 20.212. Second lap through for Devin Dixon, fast of the group, 17.710. So Clem with a 17.798 and an 18.151. And Bain will finish up with a 19.498. 19.498, the time of record. We have two more cars remaining, both Ohio racers, Seth Daniels in the S21 and Brian Skaggs in car number 20. Here comes Seth Daniels. He was among the top 5 in fast times during the hot lap session. He'll be joined by Brian Skaggs in that familiar car 20. Green flag comes out. Time to beat a time of 17.710. Daniel's got a good looking run going here. Let's see what it translates to in time. He's at the top, 17.555, 17.555. Time coming through for Skaggs, second in the group, 17.568. These guys are trying to break down the door. Here we go, Daniels wraps it up. A time of 17.574. Skaggs trying to get to the top, and he does, 17.492, 17492. So Brian Skaggs on the last lap able to get himself into the number 1 position for the group with a time of 17.492. 17.492. Here comes Jim Sullivan out of Knox, Indiana, driver of the car number 38. Right behind him, it's Danny Schwartz from Ashmore, Illinois. And Dave Hess Jr. in the car 44, fast to practice. He's third to qualify. Final group of cars. 5 more waiting to qualify. Jim Sullivan first to get the time as he'll take it. It'll be a time of 18.806, 18806. Danny Schwartz in the 21D better, 18.316. And Dave Hess with a time of 17.194. That's third quick overall. 17.194 for Dave Hess, and he's got one more shot at it. Schwartz a time of 18.408, and Hess had to pedal it back and got a time of 17.392 on the second lap. So his time of record will be a 17.194 as all 3 drivers keep their first lap time. Sullivan with an 18.806 and an 18.810. Talk about consistent. Percy Gendro in the car number 9 out of Lima, Ohio. Eric Moon in the 18. Jason Hughes in car 12 from Watts, Oklahoma. Gendro's on his way to wrap up his time. 17.885, 17885. Eric Moon will take a time of 18.064, 18064. Jason Hughes, 17.227. Gendro a time of 18.051. First lap is quicker. Eric Moon, 18.073. First lap is quicker. Jason Hughes, 17.257. 3/100ths of a second behind his fast time. So Hughes will pull a 17.227. That's second quick in the group so far as Hess holds on at a 17.194. Only 2 drivers have a shot to take out Dave Hess as fast as this group. Here they come. Shane Burrows, driver of the car number 70B out of Valrico, and the final qualifier, Spencer Hughes from Meridian, Mississippi. Burrows with a 17.266. That's third quick, 17.266. Spencer Hughes 17.480, 17480. This is a fast group of cars. Here comes Shane Burrows 17.222. That's good enough to move him to second. Not good enough to get the top spot. Let's see what Spencer Hughes had. A 17.440, 17440. Listen to these times. 17.194, 17.222, 17.227, 17.440. So within 0.3 of a second, you have 4 cars. 4 cars within 0.3 of a second. So the cars have completed their qualifying efforts for tonight. And now the cars from the last 3 groups are being escorted off the racetrack, as we did have our qualifying complete. The last few groups were totally complete as everybody got a chance to go out onto the racetrack. The times got very, very tight, as Dave Hess in the last group put up a time of 17.194 to be the fastest in his group. There were other times. Lucas Lee, who was fast in last night's practice session with a time of 17.144. He was the fast car in the group number 1. So that 17.144 could not hold up, because in group number 2, the 4th car on the racetrack,